Anger, this bad kind of anger that's brothers are malice and slander. It's not a forgiving kind. It's a kind that likes to boil. It likes to simmer. You know what Paul says? Do not give place to the devil. Do not give opportunity to the devil. Why, when we lose our temper, is the devil ready to rush in? Your thinking breaks down. I'll tell you this. The bottom line, when you boil it back down and you know it's to be true, we want our way, and we didn't get it.
We hold on to the anger. We play the story in our mind over and over again. It never should have happened. It never should have happened. It was so wrong. It was so wrong.
Brethren, the kind of anger that is wrong is the one that stems from pride. It stems from selfishness. It stems from this. I want my own way, and you crossed me. I have certain expectations about the way you're going to treat me, the way you're going to live, the way you're going to be, and I don't like it. You just did something that I found offensive. You found something that stepped on my toes.
One of the reasons it's so hard is because deep down in our souls, there's this warranted, justified desire that justice be done.
Righteous anger is always fueled by love for others. Unrighteous anger is fueled by a love for you. He's telling us to put off all these characteristics that pertain to the old man. This kind of anger pertains to the old man. He says, put it off, stop it.
Jesus said you don't have to take somebody's physical life to commit murder. He said if you harbor bitterness, unresentment, all that kind of stuff, that's murder in the court of God, in the eyes of God.
That's what happens. We want our way. We didn't get our way. We wanted to be made much of. It comes back to this self-worship that I talked about in the being honest to one another. That's really what is at the root of bad anger. It is pride. It is wanting to be made much of. It is wanting self-exaltation. Because what the Bible teaches is that there is a new man created in the image of God in true holiness and righteousness. And if you say, nope, not happening, you're basically saying, I don't trust that there was a power in that cross unleashed to turn me into this kind of person, a new man kind of person. If you say that's just not the way I am, brethren, what you're doing is you're renouncing Christianity. He said there is an immeasurable greatness of power of God that is unleashed in your life. You as a Christian have no place to say, I can't do it. That is not an option for you to say, well, that's just the way I am. That doesn't fly. Do you hear what you're saying? If that is what characterizes the old man that we're to put off, and we're to put on the new man with kindness and gentleness and forgiveness, and you say that's not the way I am, you know what you're saying? You're saying I'm not a Christian. That's basically what you're saying.
Look at our culture today. Look how much anger and hatred is being spewed out everywhere. And you'll see an identification with many of these things. Injustice.
Righteous anger is always fueled by love for others. Unrighteous anger is fueled by a love for you. Your anger is never right if it's not something God Himself wouldn't get angry over. There's an unrighteous anger, and it's like a canker. It's like a disease, and it eats. It'll eat your joy away. It'll eat your assurance away. It will eat unity away. It will eat your prayer life away. You just let it soak and simmer. It will grieve the Spirit. Your spiritual gifts will begin to wane. Hardness will creep in your heart.
And it doesn't look like it's going to be done. If I just say, okay, I won't count it anymore. I won't think about it anymore. I won't seethe with it anymore. I won't hold a grudge anymore. We feel like if I do that, nobody knows except me how bad that was. That's unbelief talking. God knows.
Notice this, that anger left unchecked is not going away. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be over it. You're not going to wake up next week and be over it. It's going to stay with you because you refuse to confront it.
All you who are carrying a seemingly legitimate grudge, you were wronged, massively wronged.
But not letting the sun go down on your anger means you're dealing with it quickly, brethren, quickly. when you sense, when you determine, I am angry about something God is not angry at, then brethren, put it away. And you have the power of the living God pulsing in your Christian veins to accomplish that very thing.
If anger is left unchecked, it is not going to go away. Look at Moses' life. From the time he was 40 years old, killing an Egyptian, all the way to the time when he was well over 100 years old, there was a problem with anger that went unchecked by and large. And what happened in Moses' life? It never went away.
The reason any one of us in this room would let the sun go down on our anger is because we let the sun go down on a wrong way of thinking. We let the sun go down thinking our own gratification and our own expectation is supreme.
And one of the deep hindrances to your letting hurt and bitterness go is the conviction that if you let it go, justice isn't going to be done.
Brethren, we need to ask ourselves that. When we get angry, are we getting angry at something God Himself is angry at? If not, put it away.
God's people struggle because we see the disobedience of other people. We see their idolatry and it makes us mad. But how are we respond? Are we taking out our anger on them? What are we doing with that anger that is aroused?
Righteous anger must never be an open door for the devil. It must never be a channel to sin. It must never undo the commandment to love our enemies.
Do not rejoice when your enemy falls. Let not your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it and be displeased and turn away His anger from him.
But I'll tell you this, we are to be people of passion. We are to be people of anger. We need, brethren, if you can drive by an abortion clinic and just let the reality sink in that 42 million children across this world are killed, made in the image of God, and they are slaughtered each year, and that doesn't cause a rise in you, you're not right. Our anger gives away who our master is. It gives away where our love is. It gives away what controls us. It gives away what drives us. Brethren, it's a fact. You look at what you get angry at, and it tells volumes about your heart. It tells volumes about what you believe. It tells volumes about the way you think. What do you deserve? I mean, let me ask you this. When your son drops the glass of milk, what do you deserve in and of yourself? You deserve hell. When we believe that we're the chief of sinners, it shatters our anger. It shatters our pride. It shatters our expectations of always getting our way. Brethren, the very thing that causes us anger, the damned in hell would leap and jump to have. You know why? Because they have an idea about how things really are. They have an idea, although they didn't always have that idea. They've been made aware now that they've been plunged into the lake of fire. They've had an idea now that they didn't deserve anything. What they deserved was hell, and that's what they got. And now to have anything less than that is a mercy of God. And to be back in their family, back in their home, back where they have water. Remember that man, he just wanted one drop for his tongue, and he didn't have it. You think that man would be like to be back with a wife that she did something to make him upset at? He would leap that she would do it. He would jump for joy that he was out of that place, not getting what he deserved, back with the gift of a wife who didn't always please him. Listen, brethren, think about this. What you get angry at is a dead giveaway to the spirit of your mind. It's a dead giveaway. It's a radical revealer of what you believe and think deep down inside. It really is that. Brethren, if you love Christ, that's the reason JWs make you angry when they're walking down the street. If you love the souls of men, that's why the JWs will anger you when they're walking down the street. Brethren, if you love, you are going to get angry when things come along to defile what you love. Righteous anger is always fueled by love for others. Unrighteous anger is fueled by a love for you.
Today, when you walk out of here, you can lay it down and know God's going to pick it up. If you lay down your rage, your anger, You're playing it over and over again in your head. If you lay that down, it doesn't get lost. God picks it up. Vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Lord. Let me take care of it.
You see, the sin of anger is a sin that will destroy you. The sin of anger carries with it consequences and destruction that none of us want in our lives. And yet how many of us are leaving anger unchecked?